whoa, I am who I am because other people told me how to believe, and I just believe what they told me to believe. And I'm like, that's not really okay with me anymore. I want to know what my values are. What are my values? What do I want for my life? And when I asked that question, I just kind of went above and beyond what you probably could do in this situation. I was just like, throw it all away, starting over. I am a newborn. Let me find the things and create who I want to be by pulling this thing and just chipping at all of the shit that had been piled on me my whole life, like just chipping away to create Brittany Lee.
We get into that a little bit because this is a fascinating story, what you've done, and I've done similar, maybe not thrown it all away. You know what I did? I kind of went, all right, what's not serving me well? Throw that away.
Yeah.
And then slowly, I want to hang on to that. Okay. And I've like kicked and screamed on some of them. And then others of them, I'm still kind of going, all right, everything is suspect. Everything I'm kind of giving a side eye to and going, all right, why do I believe you? All right. Yeah, I mean, you just kind of look at life that way. The way you did it was kind of interesting. What did that look like when you threw everything away at that moment? What'd you believe in? What grounded you?
Me. Is that bad? Like,
no, your individuality, is that what you mean by me?
Yeah. When I threw everything away, I was like, I have become this person. I am this person because people told me that my trauma defined me. People told me that living in a small town, I was expected to stay there and I never get out of it because that's just what you do. And I was told I would never be financially stable because of where I came from. And I was told that, you know, oh, I just have to accept certain family members the way they are because that's your family. And it's like, these are just a couple of things that I was like, no, screw all this. No, thank you. And so I threw it all away and I'm sitting in myself and like, I have no idea who I am because I am a culmination of everything that everybody told me to be. But who do I want to be? What do I want? And I think I told this story about going to college and now I had zero desire to go to college. Didn't want to, didn't care, did not want to go. Glad I did, but I didn't want to go. And I hated every minute of it. And I quit. I didn't finish because I didn't want to. But when I go back to why did I do that, it was because someone told me to. And so when I threw everything away, I was like, I literally asked myself the most basic of questions. What do I want? What do I believe? And I just started picking one by one by one, everything that anybody had ever told me or taught to me. I did this with my religion. I did this with every single thing. What has been told to me? Do I actually believe this? And if I do, is there any nuances in there that I need to throw away?
So you started creating yourself so you could find who you are.
Yes, exactly.
You know how rare that is, Brittany? You know how many people do what you did? I'm going to say exactly zero. Like, I know many people that throw it all out and start from square one at creating themselves. So you're kind of a rarity. I think most people, if they're going to make changes, they do kind of what I did. It's a little bit of piecemeal here, piecemeal there. Throwing it all out can throw some people into an existential crisis of who they are. What you had going for you was confidence that you were a remarkable woman who was not defined by all those things you were told you were. And so you knew who you were at your core. You just needed to discover, all right, how does that manifest in religion? How does that manifest in my political views? How does that manifest in my relationships? So you threw it all out and said, okay, first things first, then this, and you're still doing it. Like even to this day, some of our conversations are surrounding those things you're not quite fully there yet, where what you believe and why you believe it.
Easter morning, y'all. I was upset on the phone with Jimmy on Easter morning because
Yeah.
I am still doing this work and I'm not concrete in anything when it comes to that part of my life. There's nothing concrete there. I'm still uncovering that section, but I have uncovered my relationship. I went through parenting and whoa, man, I got to unlearn some things there. And I went through my relationship with my husband, my relationship with my friends. I had to see some people out Um, some people got thrown out too, and I know how harsh that sounds, but you are who you put yourself around. Like that's just the truth. And sometimes I just noticed some people who were just bringing me down and bringing me down, and I wasn't strong enough in myself and in my beliefs and who I was yet to be around anybody else. And now I purposely put myself around other people that don't think like me and look like me and talk like me because I want to grow. I don't want to attach myself to somebody else who thinks like I do. By the way, I don't think there is anyone out there that thinks like I do.
No, you are quite the snowflake, and not in the negative term wise. You're the uniqueness of
Yeah.
you're Bigfoot in psychological health.
Yeah, I am definitely the Bigfoot. I think about all the big name people who are out there and doing their thing, and I even wrote a post about it this week. They always tell you what? Be thankful for your trauma. Be grateful because it made you who you are. And I was like, screw that. Screw that. I have zero gratitude for what happened to me. Okay? No, it was not some gift for me to open. And so that's just part of that. I read other people and I examine. I'm like, maybe I should be thankful for that. And then like, no, no, that's gross. Not doing that.
So I want to bring up a point because as I started doing some of the change in my own life, there's just people that, well, I don't like the way you've changed, and I always say thank you, and they're like, well, you're not the way I want to see you, and I'm like, and that's my problem. Why? Like this recreating and creating the version of yourself when you don't really know who you are, it's not about other people, and you're going to lose friends, you're going to lose relationships. I lost 3/4 of the people I had in my life last year. 3/4. Now I don't see it as a loss, I see it as a gain. I let go of the dead weight. I picked up some amazing people. You were already in my life, but I picked up other people, and I have several. Not there's nobody like Brittany, as you noted, but I have several others that I can rely on when Brittany's not always around, that I can contact and are trusted. But it's few. It's few confidant. I trust you more than anybody in the world, but I have a few others that I'm almost there with them as well. That I would literally put them in that category. But it's like that many.
Yeah, same.
And by design, you don't want too many of those people. But that's part of recreating yourself and creating this version of who you are, that you need kind of that support. I don't think if I didn't have you in my life, I would have progressed along that path. And you might say the same thing about my presence in your life, and of course your husband's presence in your life. It helps to kind of bounce things off of someone who understands and cares about you, even if they disagree. And we do disagree a lot on things. And that's okay. I don't mind disagreeing with you, but it's never in malice.
Yes, exactly. And I would caution people. I'm not saying throw people out of your life, but if this is something a journey that you want to embark on of creating this version of yourself, you need to be extra careful every time you uncover something new and it's different than what you thought you should be or could be or what other people told you. And that might affect a certain relationship. So when I began like really uncovering religion and where I stand within religion, I had to be uber careful with talking to people
Yes,
that I
certain.
used to connect with very
Yes.
closely. I had to keep some of that to myself, and it just naturally happened that I distanced myself from them because of that. Their identity was so hooked in this thing, I had to step away. And so I'm not saying you have to like cut out all of your friends, but just as Jimmy was saying, I have lost friends over this. I've lost family over this journey.
Yeah, the aptness for them to leave you than you leave them is very high, because you kind of want people to see and appreciate the new you that you've created for yourself, but they only want to remember who you were. I can't control that people want to put me in that little box of what other people had told me I was supposed to be. I wanted to be me, and I've made major decisions in my life the past few years that have kind of underscored that. Okay, I did this because I had to get in a place where I could become James William, to kind of steal your becoming Brittany Lee. I wanted to become James William more and more, but I couldn't have done that if I'd stayed in the box that they had put me in, that kept me in various situations where I would never have grown. I would have still been living someone else's life. I would never have become and created the real me. I like me where I am now.
Yeah, you were talking about a box, and I just had this visual image of me and you, like in this small box, and we just broke out. And when we did that, like all of those negative things just went with us as we open our arms and just stretch like a newborn baby. You know, we just pull this big stretch of, oh my gosh, I have room now. I have room to accept whatever I want to accept, and I don't have to think this way. I don't have to believe this way because my parents do, or my friend does, or my spouse does. I don't have to view the world this way. I can do and be who I want to. If I want to be thick, and be thick, and I don't want to conform to social norms of thin is healthy and thin is the best way to be, let me be thick, and I don't care what anybody says about it. You know what I'm saying? That was just a funny little thing thrown in there.
No, that's great. I love the. You know, the insidious nature of this is people in the midst of kind of being in that box and not breaking out yet, and not knowing that they need to create themselves. They have no idea. They have no idea. I'm 49 years old now. Most of my life, I have lived in that box, doing the dictates of this is who you are, this is what you are, this is what you're supposed to do. Be a good little boy and stay in this little box. And if you go outside the parameters, we're going to shove you back in that box again. And I never noticed it until the last couple of years. But once I noticed it, I couldn't unsee it, which then made me want to, all right, this part of my life sucks. What other part? So I was tempted at that point, like you, throw it all out. I didn't. I threw a lot of it out. I kind of like let go of things that I thought I was supposed to do. Again, boxes. Again, being told what to do. And now I live pretty authentically me. Still have areas to work on. We all do. And we'll probably work on them for the rest of my life. But you become a better human when you take action of creating yourself rather than flailing in, I don't know who I am, or I'm what other people want me to be.
I think that's so sad when I hear somebody say, I don't know who I am. Like, that's so sad to me. And I mean, I've been there, and I've been so deep that I didn't know who I was, but I don't think people realize that when they say, I don't know who I am, it's them saying, I know that I'm not who I want to be.
Yes.
I'm what everybody else wants me to be. So I
Yeah.
don't know who I am.
I see it as a great sign that the awakening's happening, because if you don't know who you are, it means you're uncomfortable. And if you're uncomfortable, you're stuck between that fake world of what other people want and the real world you want to be. And you're in that middle of going, okay, which way do I go, George? And it's amazing because there's so many people that live right there. A lot of people, they live full bore. I don't care. This is who I am. Deal with me. I'm going to believe what I believe, and I'll never change. If you believe the opposite of me, you're an idiot. We have way too many people that live their lives that way. Very few say, you know what? I'm going to create myself and be the person I want to. And I don't have to doubt who I am. I know fully who I am.
I think the word uncomfortable and being in a state of uncomfortable makes you do something that gets you on this path. It makes you question. Questions are not bad things. Ask the questions, ask the hard ones. And so when you're uncomfortable, start with the most simple. Why am I uncomfortable? What about this makes me uncomfortable? I tell people to do this with their triggers. When I get triggered, I immediately ask, okay, can I identify what is triggering me right now? What is this trigger? Where did it come from? Can I calm this by doing such and such? And this is this whole one step deeper. This is literally where this was born from, was you ask the most simple question and you just go deeper and deeper and deeper. And so being uncomfortable, that's step one. That is step one. I am uncomfortable. Something needs to happen. Something needs to change. Are you willing to push back into that comfort level to not have to do the work, or are you going to keep pushing and do the work?
You can't create yourself until you get yourself in that uncomfortable place. That's literally step one of changing.